So if you have to do that, then you're doing some of the work for Nagoriyuki. But against Nagoriyuki, you don't really have to. Here we're going to see Trevor Sue versus Coach Steve. It's another Axel.
All right, Coach Steve, a very familiar name to many people in the FGC. I don't recognize Trevor Sue's name off the top of my head, but we're gonna have to see the Axel versus Leo matchup, and this is actually one of my favorite matchups to watch personally, because with Leo's hyper-aggressive nature, all of his multiple dashes, and his mix-up capabilities, it's always interesting to see, for me, to see how an Axel deals with the pressure they have to deal with here. Backdash to try and bait the throw, nothing doing, but hits the low there. That's going to be some damage. Trevor Sue is getting run over right now by Coach Steve. Needs to find a way to get him away from this corner and keep him in the distance he needs. Nice throw. Puts him in the corner. Empty jump. Going to eat the DP regardless. Not, oh, the cross up, and there's the overhead. Ooh, sorry. A very quick round one from Coach Steve.
We're seeing a little bit of the pressure getting to Trevor in such a way where obviously Leo has a very strong DP wake-up option, and to be in such a position where you feel like as Axel you need to run in after a knockdown and chase down Leo means that you're not willing to sort of go back to the neutral game. You're trying to get as much damage as you can whenever you can get it, maybe because you're worried that like you can't keep Leo out. And frankly, we haven't seen Trevor be able to keep Leo out in game one.
On the top side, so he's done well there. And it looks like we are now good to go. Back on in. We are still 1-0 Coach Steve in this match versus Trevor Sue. So
all right, fingers crossed.
No further issues.
All right, here we are, Zato stage. This is one of the approved stages. So it looks like we've sorted out our lag stage issue. Thank you to the competitors for relenting to change stage, and obviously thank you to everyone at home for bearing with us as we create the best possible competitive environment for our players.
All right, so here we go into duel number 1 in game number 2. So Trevor Sue got absolutely run down by Coach Steve in game number 1. Let's see if he can manage to adapt to that. There's been a lot of time to think about stuff here, but Coach Steve is still not making any compromises here, going full-on aggression. The guard break comes out. There's finally a hit. Gonna get a little bit, but nice jump. Still gets counter hit. That's gonna get Trevor Sue out of the corner, though. Give him the time he needs to get offense going. Wow, that reaction from Coach Steve was incredible. Dashed right on in. No hesitation whatsoever. Round number 1 solidly taken there by Coach Steve.
Yeah, 2. We're seeing Coach Steve demonstrate a certain familiarity with the Axel matchup, really picking the spots to go for the run around when Axel may or may not have charge, or perhaps in that last round, as we saw, has just used Renson and has picked the wrong follow-up.
Wow. No chance there. Trevor Sue got completely run down in round 2 there. 2-0 right now for Coach Steve. One more game for him and he will move on.
This is one of those challenging matchups where Axel has a lot of tools to keep an opponent out, but as we saw with the Leo run-through after the blocked Renson, it's even some of Axel's better tools carry an amount of risk with them, and you have to be extra cautious about how you're using them and how you're choosing to maybe extend that pressure even from full screen against these characters, and that significantly changes sort of where Axel is powerful versus where maybe he's a bit weak.
Rising Storm comes out, gonna hit him right on the edge, so Trevor Sue has to be a little bit careful here as he continues onward, but Trevor Sue gonna do as best he possibly can to keep Steve out. He's doing a decent job this game, is avoiding a lot of the pressure as well as also getting those hits and forcing Coach Steve finally to go for a burst there. But he's going to eat some damage in the process of that. The counter comes out. He's trying to make sure that he can give his time. But there again, once again, gets hit as he goes for the run. That's the second time there. Trevor Sue starting to now use that crouching... I think that's crouching heavy slash. Correct me if I'm wrong. But
yeah,
seeing him get the first round off of Coach Steve. Rising Storm going to get completely countered there. Command grab whiffs. Run through coming there. There is the cross up overhead. That's going to lead the damage. Triple run through off of that. Once again, he just completely bypasses the Signal Storm. He's going to get damaged. Not going to be enough for a wall break, but he's got the overhead, and that is round number 2 over to Coach Steve. Just like that, adaptation and complete domination with the rushdown.
We're seeing Trevor unfamiliar with ranges that it is safe to do the instant backdash jump slash. We're seeing a lot of situations where Trevor is trying to use backdash to get out of some of these problems, and backdash, obviously, it's a pale shadow of what it used to be in previous versions of Xrd. There's just, I think, overall, a lack of familiarity with like when it is safe and when it is exceedingly dangerous to try and create space against this character. And again, we see chasing down after a blocked Brinson. Coach Steve, on the other hand, seems deeply familiar with some of the quirks of Axel, knows how to stay inside the pocket to avoid having to deal with the instant backdash jump S, and knows that you have to almost preempt the down follow-up or choose not to do a follow-up off of Brinson to make sure that Leo doesn't just run at you. And even if Leo does run at you, like if you block that, then it's not obviously as bad as getting hit, but it still puts you in like the worst possible situation Axel could be in, which is being right beside you and having to.
Yeah. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a quick break here. We'll be back in a moment. Meanwhile, we hope you are enjoying the tournament, and stick around. We'll be right back.